Hey everybody!
Hi guys.
Welcome back to our channel. Ava's here in LA, as you can see. And it's such a pretty day today, so we're sitting outside. You guys, the weather feels like it's summer. It's the best. But today we thought about doing sort of like a Q&A / giving advice on relationship, just because we get so many questions on like our relationship and like advice that we give, things like that. So we thought about asking you guys on Instagram what questions you guys have for us, and then we're gonna, answer the questions for you guys. So we have a lot of questions. I don't think we're gonna be able to get through all of them, to be honest, because this would take like hours. So I kind of went through and like filtered out the very similar questions. I kind of like put it together. But we aren't going to be showing anyone's names or usernames on this, just for like privacy reasons. So yeah. How do you guys have such a good communication? This has been asked so much. Ava and I are so good with each other. Like, I've noticed we've never argued or fought. We're always like, we always compromise, I guess, if that's the right word. But pretty much like, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now.
So like, as far as our communication goes, since day one when we first started dating, we kind of spoke to each other and kind of laid everything out. Essentially, any type of secrets or anything that you have, we both have to know now.
Yeah.
So down in the road, it doesn't cause any conflicts and like to break the trust essentially. Because if you don't open up in the beginning and you don't really show who you really are and hide
it's just
things,
gonna get worse.
in the future you're going to create problems with trust. And we don't have any trust issues between each other, and our communication is very good. I mean,
spot on.
I feel like communication is both ways. So like if she thinks something I'm saying or I'm going to do is wrong, she lets me know, and she explains to me, and I'll kind of explain my thoughts, and we don't argue about it, but we kind of go into an
Literally,
agreement.
you guys, we've been together for 7 years, and I don't think we've ever argue like slightly. It's like literally a minute of arguing, probably. That's like the most we've had. But we don't argue and we don't fight, and I think that's just because of like communication. Like, we tell each other everything, and it's just like there is a trust there.
Yeah,
and I feel like if you don't have that trust, that's what causes like miscommunication and then like fights and like all of that. So
yeah. All right, next question. What's your advice for people fighting with their spouse? Please share advice how to handle it.
I think that kind of falls back into communication as well. If you guys are communicating, it's going to reduce like the amount that you argue and fight. Trust is number one. Trust and communication is like a big one. If something's bothering you, talk about it. Don't jump into conclusions. Like, you need to talk about it and like come to an agreement of like what you guys should be doing, what's okay, what's not okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, from my thoughts on it, like as far as fighting and things like that, my advice is, from most fights and arguments I see in couples, again, most of it is trust. Yes, there's money involved, but I feel like
jealousy.
Jealousy is huge. Jealousy and trust. But as far as like the money side of it, I feel like that doesn't come until after they're married. So pretty much what I think is like, you both need trust. And if one person doesn't trust the other person, it's not going to work out. It really isn't. So like, you guys have to somehow come into an agreement or create that trust between each other, because if one person has a trust issue with the other person, it's just going to cause even more problems down the road. And
it's okay to argue here and there. I think that's completely normal, because you're two total different people. So obviously you're going to have different opinions and thoughts on certain things, but it's just how you approach that situation. I think that's what matters.
Yeah. And then also trust problems and things like that I feel like the root source of it is fear. People are afraid of either losing that person, but then they're creating that problem. So
that's so true.
It's, you just have to both trust each other. If you guys are going into a relationship together, you guys are one person at that point.
Yeah.
You guys are not two separate people. So that's really my advice.
That's a good answer, babe.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Your turn.
I got asked this a lot too, by the way. Am I wrong for thinking my boyfriend spends too much time with his friends? It depends on like how much is too much, I feel like. Because everything should have its boundaries and its limit. So if you're exceeding that limit, then yes, that's not okay. It should be like balanced out. But
Yeah,
it kind of
everything-
just depends on like the person. So if that person is with his friends like all the time, like every day, and rarely spending the time with you, then that's obviously not okay. But if he's just close with his friends and he hangs out like here and there a few times a week, I think that's totally normal. Like guys, I feel like spending time with their friends because you're different with your guy friends than you are with your like wife or your girlfriend or like fiance, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Here from like my point of view as a guy,
Yeah, let's hear your point of view, how
It's-
guys think.
you should hang out with your friends, with guy friends, and just, you know, do guy things and things
But
like that. Because
can I add,
yeah.
they should also be good influences.
Good influence, definitely.
Like
yeah.
they shouldn't be the type of guys that are gonna, you know, influence him in a bad way. Because if that is the case, then you know that's not okay.
Yeah.
But
Like for example, me, I have like, you know, a handful of
Yeah.
friends. I have one very good friend, and you know what it is? It's like I feel like to me, it's not good having too many friends. You should always keep a few close friends that are more like a brother to you.
yeah,
That's going to help you as a person and also be a positive person in your relationship as well. For example, I have a great friend who always gives me great advice and helps me out,
and
pushes
I
me,
see it too.
and
That
he
he's,
tells me like, you know, go, like you should be doing this.
Yeah, like I always
like-
see it that he's a good influence on Av.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen him give like bad advice or like I don't know. He's just like always there for him in like a good positive way, and like people like that, I think it's okay to spend a lot of time with because they're helping you grow to be a better person.
Everything though does have its limits. I mean, everything.
Yeah,
like I can't be
100%.
drinking 5 cups of coffee a day because that's not good for you. But one a day is fine. So
Yeah. So I would say it's not wrong for you to think that your boyfriend or girlfriend is spending too much time with their friends. I think you guys should talk about it if that is an issue that's bothering you. Again, that kind of goes back to communication. If that's something that is bothering you, talk about it, express your feelings, and you know, kind of work on it, compromise.
1 second. All right. So next question is, how long have you guys been together?
7 years.
Yeah, 7. It's been a little over 7 years now. We met back in 2013, beginning of 2013, and it's gone very fast.
I know,
Like
right?
when I look back at when we first
I was
met,
like, what, 17? Barely turned 17.
yeah,
I was like a baby, but yet it feels like it's like fast forwarded. I don't know, it's so weird, it's crazy.
it's like I feel like we practically grew up together in a way.
Yeah, that's kind of
Um,
what it feels like because we were so young.
Yeah,
I was 17, he was
20.
20. Were you? Or you just turned 20? You had just turned 20.
I just turned 20, yeah, because I remember my 21st birthday was that same year we met. I'm a late baby. I was born in December,
Yeah,
so wow, 7 years.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Next question. What is the success to communication? So we kind of already went over this earlier. But again, just make sure you guys communicate, let each other know if something's bothering you, talk about it. Don't let it like build up on the inside
Yeah.
and then you're going to explode and it's just going to be a whole
Yeah, don't let it
bad
don't ever let it
situation.
build up inside, because if you keep it in, it's only gonna cause more problems.
Yeah.
It's almost like lying. When you lie to if you
It gets
keep
worse.
if you keep a secret from someone and you, let's say, for example, your mom's like, "Did you go to school today?" You're like, "No." Okay, this is a random example. If you say no and you keep it in, eventually they're gonna find out one day that you didn't go to school. So
Yeah.
same thing with the relationship. Just don't keep secrets in, because eventually it's gonna come out, and the longer you wait, the worse it's gonna be in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. When is the wedding?
Okay, this, you guys, we get asked
When
this so
is the
much.
wedding?
Well, because of the whole COVID-19 situation, it's obviously postponed.
Yeah.
I mean, we hadn't really like decided on a day yet.
We were
but-
actually thinking of planning the wedding pretty much as of last month. Not doing the wedding last month, but at least planning
Yeah.
it last month. But because of all this lockdowns and things like that, it's been difficult to plan it because most places are closed.
Yeah.
We can't call and find out information. Plus, we don't know how long it's gonna last. I mean, it seems like everything is opening up soon. So, but again, it may open and then close again. So we don't know yet.
I'm assuming we will probably do it mid next year. So like summertime, because I
Sometime next
really
year,
want
yeah.
like summer wedding.
Sometime next year. We'll see.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
Are you guys the jealous type? I don't think so. And again,
Not at all.
it goes back to trust. I honestly trust her when she goes out and things like that. Let's say with her friend or with coworkers.
Yeah.
I don't have a second doubt. Nothing at all. I mean, I trust
and
her.
same vice versa. Like if he's out with like friends or coworkers or whatever it is, I definitely do not get jealous. Like, because I trust that he's gonna tell me if like something happens, he would tell me. So, no, I don't. We're not the jealous type.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I don't think you've never been like that, like the jealous type.
I mean, I will be honest. In the very, very beginning,
Which is normal
It's
for like
normal.
new relationships.
but
I
to
think
an
so.
extent. It's normal because in the very beginning, people have fear of losing
Yeah.
that person because it's such a new thing. It's like after a while in a relationship, you begin to like know the person, you trust
Yeah.
them at that point. Like again, 7.5 years, I don't.
That would be an
Never
issue,
had-
to
yeah.
be honest. If he was still like super, super jealous, that would cause problems and fights. And I feel like that's probably why we're so well with each other, that like the jealousy and all of that is not in our relationship, so it doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, communication is a huge one, because if like a guy is there like, talking to me, I'm going to tell him. If I don't tell him, that's when it starts getting a little more like, why didn't you tell me? Or, kind of thing. So I feel like telling them everything that happens, I don't know, that's just how I see it. Like if a guy talks to me, I would tell him like, hey, this guy was like saying this and this and that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
A lot of you have been asking how our long distance relationship is and how we make it work out. We've been doing this long distance thing for 3 years now.
yeah, it's been 3 years.
So, as most of you might already know, I live in Las Vegas. I was born and raised here. So, I only come out here once a month, maybe twice a month sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm really lucky, 3-4 times a month sometimes, but that's very rare. So it's hard. I'm gonna have to say it's
It
not
is.
easy. When I first moved out to Vegas, I thought it was gonna be very hard, but I guess because I was so new to the city, time was flying so fast. So for me, the very beginning,
It was hard for me because I was
Yeah.
used to this lifestyle, and he's not in the picture technically
Yeah.
anymore as much. So it was really hard for me because we would be with each other like literally 5 times a week. Like we would go to church together, we went out a lot, and it was just like now that all of a sudden gets
And you know
cut,
the funny thing
know?
is, like, the one thing that really makes me laugh sometimes is when I used to live here, we wouldn't be doing YouTube videos. We wouldn't be doing, influencing and like
That's why I feel like
photography.
everything happens for a
And-
reason.
The funny thing is though, like I lived here, we were here, we could have done all of that like easily, not a problem. The second I moved out to another city, all this stuff started, and it's like
Yeah.
it's weird. Like, and I'm looking back at it, I'm like, wait, didn't we take photos and do all this before? Like, it feels like I've been doing it since I met her. So it's weird.
Yeah, but yes, long distance is hard. If you are doing long distance, props to you. It's definitely not easy. Obviously,
No.
some people live further away and it's harder. He's only like 4 hours away, not even. So it is slightly easier. It's not that difficult. But again, like the fact that you can't just like drive 20 minutes and see each other, it does make it difficult.
And what I found that helps a lot, being away from each other. I mean, number one, it's very hard. Like, don't sit in your room alone and not do anything, because that's going to cause you to start
you have
wanting
to be
to
productive.
go back. You're going to start getting depressed. What I usually do is I stay productive. So our YouTube videos, for example, and the photos that we do, I tend we do FaceTimes, together, and then I'm editing the videos, and if I'm not editing, I just recently started doing astrophotography. If you haven't followed my page, it's Deep Sky Photo, and it's just it's a hobby, but I enjoy it. It's fun.
It keeps you busy.
You got to keep yourself busy to make time go by fast. So like from the times, like let's say last time I was here was about a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember how fast the time in between went. Like, it just, when you're busy, it goes quick. If you're not busy, that's when it feels like time is going slow. So just stay busy, keep contact, FaceTime if you can, but...
And also, I do feel like because of long distance, since we obviously know when he's going to come or when I'm going to go, we plan the days out so much better, right? Don't you think? Like,
our days are much more full.
Exactly. So it's like we plan everything out and we have like a schedule of what we're going to do or we're going to go. And I feel like you don't waste time that way.
Yeah.
Whereas before we just like,
really, it's like not wasted days.
chill.
Like, for example, I came yesterday, shot a music video. The day before we did a vlog. Today we're doing our other vlog. So it's always a jam-packed day, and we have all this time together. It's
not that bad. There's pros and cons,
And here's the thing. I'm in Vegas and she's in LA, so that's like a 4-hour drive, 3.5 hours. I know for some people it's even more difficult, especially if one person is in like LA and one is in like New York. So when that's hard. I mean I can't do that. So somebody has to move.
Somebody.
So go back. That's too far. I would have never moved out of the city if it was somewhere far. I only agreed to move to Vegas because it was nearby. So
yeah. Okay, so we do have a couple more, but this video is getting really long, so we are gonna cut it short. Hopefully it's short and it's not too long. But honestly, thank you guys so much for asking these amazing questions.
Yeah.
I hope it helps you guys in some sort of way.
And if we didn't answer one of your questions and you want to either message us privately, separately, or comment down below, we'll definitely be able to give you guys advice if we know it. I mean, we don't know everything in the world, but...
Just experience from our relationship.
Yeah, we'll definitely share an experience from our relationship and kind of help you guys out. So
yeah,
we'll probably make more videos like this, and if you guys do like it, please make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, and comment down below any other questions that you guys have that we can possibly use on our next video.
And then don't forget to follow us on Instagram because we are pretty active on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mine is Gigi and and then his is Avo
Vision.
He also has his astrophotography page.
Yeah, the new one,
which is Deep Sky Photos.
Yeah,
so.
Deep Sky Photos, and then it's probably gonna be down here, so
somewhere.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Let's wrap it up.
Yes. Cheers again, babes.
Cheers. And wish you guys all well. Stay safe, and we'll see you in our next vlog. Peace.